Hello everyone and welcome. Imagine you have a very difficult puzzle. Not a simple puzzle with 10 pieces. A puzzle with 1,000,000 pieces. A normal computer would try to solve it piece by piece. It would work very hard, and it would take a long, long time. But what if there was a different kind of computer? A computer that could look at the puzzle in a completely different way. A computer that could explore many possibilities at the same time. That is the big idea behind quantum computing. And today we are going to talk about it in simple, clear English. You can also check the description for 10 useful vocabulary words and some useful expressions from this video. Let's start with a simple story. Think about a young student. She is sitting at her desk. She opens her laptop and types a question into a search engine. The answer comes back in less than 1 second. She smiles and continues her homework. That laptop is a normal computer. It is fast. It is useful. It helps millions of people every single day. But some problems in the world are much, much harder than a homework question. Some problems are so big and so complex that even the fastest normal computer would take years or even hundreds of years to solve them. Scientists and researchers around the world are working on a new kind of tool for those very difficult problems. That tool is called a quantum computer. What is World Quantum Day? Every year on April 14th, people around the world celebrate World Quantum Day. It is a day to think about quantum science. It is a day to share ideas, ask questions, and talk about the future of technology. Scientists, students, teachers, and curious people from many countries take part. They organize events, give talks, and post videos online. The goal is simple. They want more people to know about quantum science and why it matters. April 14th was chosen because of a number in physics. The number is 14, which is a rounded version of a very important number in quantum science called Planck's constant. You do not need to remember that. The important thing is that the date has meaning and the celebration is real and growing every year. World Quantum Day started in 2022. It was created by scientists from more than 65 countries. That tells us something important. This topic is not just for one country or one university. It is a global conversation. Now, let's talk about quantum computing itself. First, let's understand normal computers a little better. A normal computer works with information. That information is stored as tiny pieces called bits. Every bit is either a 0 or a 1. Just 0 or 1. Nothing in between. Think of a light switch. It is either off or on. That is how a normal computer thinks. Off or on, 0 or 1. Every calculation, every photo, every message, every video, everything is made of millions and millions of zeros and ones. Normal computers are incredibly fast at working with these zeros and ones. The computer you use every day can do billions of calculations every second. That is amazing. But some problems are so complex that even billions of calculations per second are not enough. This is where quantum computing becomes interesting. A quantum computer uses something different. Instead of bits, it uses qubits. A qubit is special. It can be a 0, it can be a 1, but it can also be both at the same time. This sounds strange, and it is. Quantum science is strange even for scientists. But let's use a simple comparison. Imagine you are in a big city. You need to find the fastest route from your home to the airport. A normal computer would check one route, then another, one by one. It would eventually find a good answer. A quantum computer can explore many routes in a very different way. It uses the special properties of qubits to process information differently. This makes it powerful for certain types of very complex problems. But here is something important to understand. Quantum computers are not better than normal computers at everything. They are not going to replace your laptop or your phone. They are not for watching videos, sending messages, or playing games. Quantum computers are for a different kind of problem. Big problems, scientific problems. Problems that require a kind of calculation that normal computers find extremely difficult. So what kind of problems could quantum computing help with? Let's look at a few simple examples. The first example is medicine and health. Scientists are always trying to understand how molecules work inside the human body. Molecules are tiny. They are incredibly complex. Understanding them could help scientists create better medicines. Normal computers have trouble simulating molecules because molecules behave in quantum ways. A quantum computer could help scientists understand this more clearly. This could lead to new treatments for diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's. The second example is climate and environment. Our planet has a very complex climate system. Scientists use computers to model weather, temperature changes, and environmental systems. Quantum computing could help researchers build better models of the climate. This could help us understand how to protect the planet more effectively. The third example is cybersecurity. Today, most online security systems use codes that are very hard for normal computers to break. Quantum computing could change this in the future. This is why many scientists and governments are already working on new kinds of security systems that can protect information in a quantum world. The fourth example is materials and energy. Quantum computing could help scientists design new materials, better batteries, more efficient solar panels, new ways to store and use energy. These are all areas where quantum science could make a real difference. If this video is helping you practice your English, and if you enjoy learning in this calm and simple way, we would love for you to join our community. Please subscribe to the channel and keep learning with us. Every video is made with care, just for learners like you. Thank you for being here. Now let's take a moment to think about something. Quantum computing is not a simple topic. Even scientists find it difficult to explain. Even people who work with it every day sometimes have trouble describing exactly how it works. But that is okay. Understanding every detail of quantum science is not the goal for most of us. The goal is to know that this technology exists, to know that it is being developed by smart people in many countries, to know that it could help solve some of the most important problems in the world. And that is already something. You now know what World Quantum Day is. You now know the difference between a normal computer and a quantum computer. You know what a bit is, and you know what a qubit is. You know a few of the areas where quantum computing could make a big difference. That is real knowledge, and you learned it in simple English. Quantum computing is still in its early stages. The machines that exist today are powerful in some ways, but they also have limitations. They need very special conditions to work. They need to be kept at extremely cold temperatures. They make errors that scientists are still working to reduce. But the progress is real. Companies, universities, and governments around the world are investing in this technology. They believe it will become more powerful and more practical in the coming years and decades. This is why World Quantum Day matters. It is a reminder that science is moving forward. It is a reminder that the future is being built right now by people who ask big questions and work very hard to find answers. And even if quantum computing never touches your daily life directly, it may one day help solve a problem that does affect you. A disease, a climate challenge, a better material for the things you use. Big science works in quiet ways, and sometimes the biggest changes start with a small idea that most people have never heard of. So the next time someone mentions quantum computing, you do not have to look confused. You can say, yes, I know a little about that. It uses qubits. It is different from normal computers. It is being developed to help with very complex problems, and there is even a special day to celebrate it, April 14th. That is more than most people know. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this video was helpful for your English practice and also a little interesting. These are real topics happening in the real world, and you are learning about them in English. That is something to feel good about. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share it with a friend who is also learning English. And if there is a topic you want for the next video, write it in the comments. It could be science, history, technology, health, nature, culture, or anything else that makes you curious. I would love to read your ideas. See you in the next lesson. Keep practicing and have a wonderful day.